Now, we're joined here this morning by Joe Carroll, and again, Joe was a lifetime resident of Mannixville here. Joe, would you just like to tell us a little bit about growing up here in Mannixville when you were young?
Growing up here in Mannixville, there was a big number of children here. There was over 70 children in the 28 houses, because along this row along here, like you had there was Scannons, you know, there was 7 of us. There was 10 in the tools. There was 10 in the cabinets next door. Like, you know what I mean.
The Flynns there,
the
Flynns,
and your Meads around the corner.
Yeah.
And so when we were all, as it was a young estate, the families all came in together.
Yeah.
And we used to be playing. That time traffic wasn't as bad, so we used to be playing on the road. And then down in the bungalows, down in the grass, down in the bungalows, there'd be big matches then, soccer and
rivalries,
like that. And you're the good players, and the people like me might get you'll be putting goal because you were no good outfield.
I was asking you earlier, like all the 2-story houses and we'll call them the single ones, they were all Mannixville, but you used to call them different names, didn't you?
Well, they were all built. These houses were allocated by the council in 1959 to different families, and we knew these as the houses, and they were to differentiate. They were the bungalows, but the 28 houses were all built together.
So the 2 stories were the houses, and the singles were the bungalows.
There were 12 bungalows, and there were 16 houses,
right.
And they were allocated in to families. My family moved in here from Broad Street. They lived in Broad Street. Prior to that, they moved in July 1959.
Right.
Because they always said to me I was born 3 months later than
yeah.
So I was a Broad Street concept, and I was a Mannixville delivery. You know what I mean, like so.
Very good.
But across the road, then all that land that time was belonged to the Gerald Buckley, and we used to be going in and out there playing. When the road got a little busier, we used to be going in playing football and soccer and things like that, playing and eventually he had to put up a big wire fence to try and keep us out because we had the ditch knocked down and everything like that. And just down here then, and as you can see over here, you have the old houses, and then you have the Bat Dunnigan. That land was actually, that time, that was a field again, that was belonged to Paddy Connell. He was a butcher in Charlotte, but his son, everybody would have known his son Declan, Declan the butcher. That was known as the Yeoman's Field, and there was 8 acres of land, and they used to keep their sheep there at a slaughterhouse on Broad Street. Yeah. And a few of us get the job to bring the sheep in on a Monday they just pick out the best of them for to kill them, and we used to have to hunt them back out.
So we'll say you were born out here in 59, you said, yeah. So growing up inside in town, then you were going into school in town as a 5 or 6 year old walking in. Did you walk to school yourself, or would Mammy bring you to school in the mornings? Or?
No, your Mammy definitely didn't bring you to school. I know everybody, like, you know what I mean. The road was full of children going in and out to school, and you'd be going in and out with a group of whoever was on the road, like it was the same. And the big thing was that you go to school, everybody walked to school, and then as we got older, we got bicycles and we cycled to school.
Yeah.
I remember I went to what is now St Mary's Secondary School. That was the infant school. Yeah. Then I got a year in the new primary school, the new infant school. Now that's there. I got there. Then we went to what is the community centre.
In the main street.
I did second class there. Yeah. And we went down to where the schoolyard theatre, as we did, which was Reardon's. That we did 3rd and 4th class down there, and we went back up again to the community centre. Did 5th class there,
Jesus.
And then I did 6th class in the new infant school, in the new Christian Brothers school, and finished up in the Christian Brothers secondary school.
Yes, you did every school in town.
Every school. I did.
I didn't make you any smarter.
No. I forgive Benoni. He was a teacher of mine, and he used to, if you asked him a question and he didn't know, he said, "I was away the day they taught that." So a lot of the things that you know what I mean. Look, you know what I mean. Schooling was very important, but I wasn't the brightest spark. But look, you know what I mean. Like, but there's an old.
But you great memories of all the different schools and all the different teachers.
The house next door here, just here next door to me is. That's what Peter Sullivan, Peter Corky. He's a big contributor.
Yeah.
And
best wishes to Corky out there. I know you're not feeling great at the moment, Peter. But
and just as we mentioned him, I'd like to pass sympathy to him. He buried his mother-in-law during the week. You know what I mean? Like
Very good.
And then next door we just sent to England, like and people got on. Generally, people got on very well. You know what I mean? There was no animosity and things like that. Like and it was a great neighbourhood. Like you know what I mean? I'm very proud to be from Mannixville.
Yes.
It is a very proud thing.
It is. Yeah. You great neighbours, and everybody got on.
You know, you can have everything, but memories are what bring things.
That's absolutely.
You know, and the people that you grow up are very, very important. And things like that. Like and we still, we're still friendly, and we still keep in touch with one another. Like and people have moved all over the world, and thanks to you and Charleville Coves, I've seen people, and there's people contributing to it. You know, and it's a phenomenal. For me, it is a phenomenal success.
Yeah, like even when I was young, we used to have downtown challenge games, and we'll say I'd play with the Holy Cross boys, and you'd come back here and play against the Mannixville, and we'd come back and play matches here against the Mannixville boys. It was only just throw together games.
But they were serious though, Paudie. They were serious, Paudie. Don't underestimate.
But they were only throw together games. But by Jesus, you didn't want to be going away.
No. There was big rivalry between Holy Cross and Mannixville. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Both looked to one another with disdain. Like you know what I mean? Like. But that's life.
That's it. But sure, you all been school didn't get together to follow when everything was going to begin.
Exactly. Like you know what I mean? Like, and I remember those houses. The Dunnigan houses were built back in the. I think around the late 70s.
Yes, that's right. I remember those going up.
I remember them. And there was 16 of them originally.
Then they expanded into respond houses and all that after. Yeah. But sure, we could probably do a lot more housing around the town the way it's growing. As you say, all George Buckley's. Yeah.
And there was a passage going up along there, going up there, and actually that passage went the whole way back to Shandrum.
Did it?
There was actually a double ditch that went the whole way back to Shandrum. I remember when I was older, I started walking. Giving out a hand to Buckley's, like, and I used to be milking cows and cutting weeds and everything as a young fellow over there, like, you know what I mean, like, and there's a couple of people over there now, if I told them that's where that your house is built on top of a milking parlour or something, like, you know what I mean, they mightn't be too pleased, but look, that's what it is like today, like, you know. So.
But anyway, Joe, look, thanks very much for talking to us, and you've given us a lot of information about, who grew up here, and the townlands that were here around, and what it was like growing up here, as a child, and family, and community, and pride, as you say, and, as I say, and thanks for your kind comments about the page. That's all we're trying to do, is keep, memories alive and gather a bit of information for people down the road,
Like, I've been big into photography all my life. I've lots and lots of photographs taken, you know what I mean, and I've always said to people, like, photographs are never any good until they're 20 years old.
That's right.
And I said, when you take a photograph, and it brings you straight away back to where you actually have been.
That's
right. And that to me is what it's all about, is like, right, these videos, the photographs that go up on the Charleville Coves page and everything else like that, like, there's another generation will look at them.
That's right, yeah.
And they'll say,
it's not for us or next week or next year or 2 years. It's generation down the road.
Yeah, and
they'll appreciate it.
Hopefully, like, you know what I mean, and that's what it's all about, like, you know what I mean, like, so
very good.
Okay,
Joe,
thanks
very much indeed.
No problem.
Bye bye.
Okay, thanks.